Granted, the point guard 6'10". Nice move by Al Horford, his second basket.
And they go right at him. And in these situations, nice pass.
And Ilyasova scores. That's Simmons.
When McConnell plays, you see Simmons slide with the 4. It's not necessarily unusual.
Almost a steal by Simmons. And Tatum has the ball. Third pick in the draft. Boston traded with Philadelphia, traded out of the #1 spot, and took Tatum at 3. Horford. Wow, tough shot. Al Horford gets it to drop. Back-to-back buckets for him.
He likes the matchups right now. He's got the freedom of not going against Joel Embiid in the low post.
He had 26 points in Game 7 against Milwaukee. Out of bounds off Boston. And Jaylen Brown a little slow to get up.
Al Horford, the old head, the stabilizing force. No Joel Embiid? I got you, Mr. Ilyasova. You're toast.
NBA Conference Semifinals on ESPN, presented by Wells Fargo, is brought to you by Just Crack an Egg. Breakfast is hot again, and it wants you back.
This isn't an audition or the road trip you took to the coast, and it's far from those weekend camping trips. It's nothing like a district track meet, bagging groceries at the corner store, or crashing a party with your friends. Out here, it's not where the seat takes you, but who it makes you. Start your journey at Navy.com.
Oscar Mayer Deli Fresh ham has no added nitrates, or artificial preservatives. Now Deli Fresh flavor is for everyone, like those who like sweet, those who prefer heat, and those who just love meat. Oscar Mayer Deli Fresh, a fresh way to deli.
As an allergy sufferer, you're wired differently. Nasacort is different too. Unlike antihistamines, it targets more of the allergic inflammation that causes your congestion and other nasal allergy symptoms for 24-hour relief. Nasacort stops more of what makes you miserable.
My daughter's getting married Saturday.
Father of the groom. I can still help you pay for the wedding.
This bad boy's gonna light up the dessert table.
All good here, pal. She's a nice girl, but look around. These people are broke.
You got us a ghetto wedding.
If you ask nice, we'll take you to the bachelor party.
When Olga Custodio first tried to enlist, she was rejected, just because she was a woman. But Olga refused to be grounded, so she kept fighting. She flew into the history books as this nation's first Latino military pilot, and then a flight school instructor, pinning wings onto others who would not be grounded. Since 1925, we've proved that it doesn't matter where you come from, it matters what you're made of. Modelo, brewed with a fighting spirit.
It's the NBA playoffs, and many cities are anxiously waiting to see which one will celebrate.
Thousands of people.
Welcome back to the NBA Conference Semifinals presented by Wells Fargo. Here in Philadelphia, the Celtics up 2 in Game 3. Coming up next on ESPN, it's SportsCenter with Michael Eaves and Zubin Mehenti. Stephen A. joins the show for his take on this game, and also a look ahead to what's coming on ABC tonight. Game 3, Raps and Cavs. Toronto trailing 2 games to none. Post-game reactions from this game, players and coaches up next. SportsCenter, ESPN, and the ESPN app. 11 to shoot for Philadelphia, trailing by 2, and they get a good look. Ilyasova is fouled. See what they get here. Jaylen Brown's got 3 fouls, and they get Brown, so that's 4 on him. And Embiid about to check in. entire second half has been played within a 10-point range. First 2 games of this series high scoring, but not today. Ilyasova gets the first free throw. Well, Lowry and DeRozan have a lot of pressure on them. Try to get Toronto back in the series. They were embarrassed in game 2. The Raptors as a team. Coming up on ABC. So Embiid back on the floor with 20 points and 17 rebounds. And Ilyasova's had a nice game off the bench. He's got 14 points. 10th year pro out of Turkey. Look at McCollum. And the crowd just loves it.
I don't know how you couldn't. He's challenging Terry Rozier at 94 feet.
He's a Pittsburgh guy, but he's also perfect for Philly. It's rare to say that, and actually people. As Jaylen Brown, boy, I thought he may have fouled. Look at McConnell on the floor, kept alive. Celtics ball.
He absolutely fouled. That's all right, though. Didn't get called for it, Jaylen Brown.
Here's Brown over Embiid. Not there. Ilyasova clear. Midway through the fourth, we're tied at 81 here in game 3. Celtics up 2 games to none. Embiid goes at Horford, can't get it. Rozier with a rebound. They're letting him play now.
They're letting him play all day.
Tatum against Embiid. And Bellinelli, nice play. It ends up in the hands of Horford. Timers at 3. They got to put it up. Tatum with 1. Lets it go. Jaylen Brown, what a save. They're going to say now that he was out of bounds. He disagrees. Great hustle, though, by Brown. Let's see. Yeah, he's out.
No doubt about it. Can you be smart, disciplined, get good shots the rest of the way if you're Philly against what has been one of the best defensive teams in the league?
That's a good shot, but Simmons missed the dunk.
Wow. Everybody in the building is stunned. A rare, complete breakdown, and he can't put it home. Wow.
In a situation where you can't afford not to have that bucket. 5 minutes to go, tied at 81. Here's Horford, pushed out by Ilyasova. Goes one-on-one. Timers at 4. Horford forces it up, and traveling violation on Horford. Redick checks back in. McConnell's going to go to the bench for Philly.
You talked about the game Ilyasova has played. Big-time defensive stand. First turnover of the quarter by Boston.
After 5 in that third quarter. Here comes Redick. Drives, feeds Embiid. Keeps that pivot foot down. Fires to Simmons. And Simmons misses again. Degree of difficulty, much different there, but still a layup. Horford against Ilyasova again. To the corner. Morris sizing it up. Can't score. Missed the 3. Jaylen Brown. Great rebound. Hits Tatum. And Tatum fouled on the slam attempt by Embiid. Tatum and Embiid exchange words.
This young man is not backing away from anybody. Long rebound. Look at the athleticism of Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum right to the cup. And I'll say this to you on the other end. So Ben Simmons misses the dunk, and then Marcus Morris was locked and trailed on the cut. Do you think Boston's defense, because they're there on the catch every single time, do you think it wears a team down over the course of 48 minutes?
You have to think so, right? I mean, it seems like that's what's happened with Philly, just watching these first 3 games of the series. Aaron Baines came out with a towel. He was on the bench. Embiid didn't like it, and they started jawing. Trying to mop up the floor here, so Tatum will shoot the free throws. Embiid with his 3rd foul, 2nd team foul in Philadelphia. Watch Baines here sneak onto the floor with the towel, and Embiid's like, get out of here, man. Part of the cleanup crew.
Yeah, just give a little mop-up duty. And now he's willing that free throw in. See, he's got many rolls, Baines.
Tatum had been shooting 88% at the line in the playoffs. That's his first attempt of the game. That gets the crowd to its feet. Missed them both. Here in 4 minutes to play. Ilyasova's three. Not there. Rozier with the rebound, his 7th.
Well, that's a very rare late switch or indecisive switch by Boston. And against Ilyasova, who's got a high release point.
Rozier drives and scores.
What? That could have been an and one. Really good job holding off the defensive player by Rozier.
So it's a 2-point lead for Boston, 3.5 to go. Embiid drive, gets past Horford. Oh, he stuffs it on him. Trust this. Ties it at 83. Timer at 7. Brown against Horford. Pulls up for three. Can't connect. Brown, great play to take it away from Ilyasova. Horford underneath. Kicks it out. Brown's three. No good. They've missed 9 straight threes. Again, Brown hustles. But it's a kickball, and Philly will have possession. Timeout on the floor here in Game 3.
We have got a possession ball game inside 3. Joel Embiid, Mr. Process. Take that out.
Basically, you can get any 2 of these premium sandwiches for $6.
Let's play. What's your deal?
All right, I'm cranking it. For $6, I got a spicy chicken and a Whopper. Jackpot.
It's the 2 for $6 mixer match deal. Now with a new spicy crispy chicken, only at Burger King.
Hey, Paul.
Sprint turn. What are you up to?
Showing you the unrivaled iPhone 10.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, it is nice. And you know what I can do with it?
No, what?
I can unlock it with my face. They call it Face ID. Here, let me show you. See?
Do you have to make that face when you unlock it?
What face?
Get the unrivaled iPhone 10 now for just $20 a month. That's 50% off from Sprint. Switch to Sprint to get the best price for unlimited.
Don't make a first impression or lasting impression without it. Don't turn your house into a home without it. Don't go live or even share a moment without it. And don't watch her dance like nobody's watching without it. Whatever you do, don't forget that the more you live forward, the more you need someone at your back. The powerful backing of American Express. Don't live life without it.
Hey, Chris, how's the move going? I get it. New house, new truck, but it looks like you can use a breather. Let's roll. I can change it.
You cool? You like it?
I never wanna hear you say that. Hey, you guys need help?
No, we're good. Yes.
Ain't nothing but a heartache.
Tell me why.
Ain't nothing but a mistake.
When out with friends, you could tell the truth, or a better version of it. Just ask Dos Equis, the only beer to serve at the Battle of Cinco de Mayo. Dos Equis, keep it interessante.
Where must we go?
To a realm beyond your own.
The road ahead is long and unforgiving. On our journey, we will be attacked by all manner of creatures. No place for a boy. You must be a warrior.
Rated M for mature.
PlayStation.
count it. Can't take it when you die, but you can't live without it.
5 years, $148 million, and worth every single penny. I know he missed his first couple of years. You're talking about 7 foot, 250 pounds. From 25 feet off the deck against an elite defender. Yes, sir. He sees the close on the top side, says, take that, Al Horford. You can't check me.
22 points, 2 ferocious dunks, 1 on Baines, that one on Horford, 7 in the quarter. And we have a tie ball game with 2:57 to go in game 3. A must-win situation with no team ever coming back from 3 games to nothing down in a best-of-7 series. Philly trying to get back in it. Game 4 Monday night here at Wells Fargo Center. Here's Embiid in the high post, guarded by Horford. Shot clock down to 8. Embiid spins, goes back to the left hand, and could not finish, kept it alive. Tatum able to tiptoe the baseline and get it. 2.5 to go, Boston possession. Smart, Rozier, with Rozier off the ball. Horford, Tatum, and Brown on the floor for Boston. And the timer at 7.
Good switch inside by Ilyasova.
Horford, face up Jay, won't go. Kept alive by Tatum, and then Embiid tracks it down.
Great communication and switch by Ilyasova, because Al had JJ on him in the deep low post.
We're at the 2-minute mark in a tie game. Here's Redick. Shot clock at 5. Redick with 3 on the timer. Drives, now puts it off. And hits! It's a 2 by Redick, but what a shot.
Averaging a career playoff high over 20. That is a huge shot.
He's been struggling from the floor prior to that name. Here's Tatum trying to answer. He does, the rookie out of Duke. 20 years old, 19 points.
Didn't look like he had security of the basketball. Looked like Simmons had knocked it free briefly.
If he gets over 20 for the 5th straight game, he'd be the first Celtic ever in the playoffs to accomplish that feat. Timer at 6. Embiid guarded by Horford. Takes the jumper, too strong, and Boston has it.
And Tatum defensively wouldn't let Redick get the basketball. Great deny, so consecutive trips up the floor by Tatum. 2 terrific plays.
Rozier defended by Simmons. Shot clock at 8 for Tatum. Horford, 4 on the shot clock. Horford for 3, no. And Simmons gets the rebound. Tied at 85. Bellinelli into the paint. A lot of contact and a foul is called. Bellinelli will go to the line. The 11th-year pro out of Italy, playing in his 55th career playoff game with 9 different teams. A great free throw shooter with a chance to get his team the lead. Marcus Smart just fouled out as you look at Redick's jumper from a moment ago.
Well, Marcus Smart stood up defensively. And then Tatum, it almost looked like Simmons got a hand on that basketball. The concentration against a guy who's 6'10" checking you.
But again, Smart just fouled out. That is a huge loss, as good as he's been in the 4th quarter, as Bellinelli gets the first free throw. Baines has 5 fouls. He's on the bench. Bellinelli to make it a 2-point game. Celtics have 2 timeouts left. Brad Stevens will hold on to them here. Sixers have a foul to give. 41.2 in the clock. Jaylen Brown driving on Simmons, trying to go baseline, lost the ball. Morris now with 10 to shoot. Morris pulls up over Simmons. They're going to wave it off, and a timeout was called by Brad Stevens. Back in a moment with 8 to shoot. Celtics down 2 here in Game 3, leading the series 2.
Here's to 60 years of Pizza Hut. To original pan, to stuffed crust, and to the best of both. The new double cheesy crust pan pizza with stuffed crust cheese baked just inside the golden edge of original pan. Here for a limited time. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
Nutro. Non-GMO ingredients, no artificial flavors. All the energy dogs need and nothing they don't. Nutro. Feed clean.
These teams have played each other over 100 playoff games. This is certainly going to go down as one of the best games. Consider all the great ones they've had. Obviously in the 80s, all those conference finals matchups. What do you expect here with 8 on the shot clock for the Celtics with possession down 2?
That last possession, Bellinelli was checking Jason Tatum. I'm curious to see if that's the matchup coming out, and will they attack Bellinelli? Really smart play by Marcus Smart right there. When he caught the ball under duress, he had the presence of mind to look at the clock. There were 12, so he knew he didn't have to rush a shot opportunity, and that's when Brad elected to have the timeout call.
Yeah, that was Marcus Morris there, did that, and Smart is fouled out of the game, so it's going to be Tatum, Horford, Jaylen Brown, Morris, and Rozier for the Celtics.
Did I call him Marcus Smart again? Yeah, I keep doing that, but Marcus Morris, really smart play.
Ilyasova, McConnell, Simmons, Redick, and Embiid on the floor for Philadelphia.
Yeah, so you get McConnell back in for the defensive purposes.
Lob inside, Brown catches and puts it in to tie the game at 87. What a play out of the timeout. The Sixers have a timeout left. We'll see if they use it. Shot clock is off. 15 seconds to go in regulation. Brett Brown calls out the play. Here's Redick with 8 seconds to go. And Redick, a loose ball, picked up by Rozier. They got a breakaway. Rozier to Brown. He puts it in with 1.7 left. A tragic turnover by Philadelphia leads to a layup on the other end and perhaps a 3-0 series lead. Philly calls a timeout. They will be able to advance the basketball.
Boy, J.J. Redick. He is going to make the pass. He, I think, was anticipating Ben being prepared for the catch. And instead, Ben has his back to him. And my goodness gracious, Rozier wisely picks it up. They get a numbered opportunity easy.
Wow.
I mean, Redick looked like Simmons gave it up, and he was supposed to get it right back, but Ben wasn't thinking that way at all.
And how about Rozier here? Very calmly waits for his teammate to come free, makes the right play to get the easy 2. And now, again, they can advance with 1.7.
And you got plenty of time here. You could get a very good look. Think about how quickly Boston just scored, entering it to their best athlete on the post. Easy opportunity for Jaylen Brown.
See if it's a 2 or a 3-point attempt here for Philadelphia. Do they go for the win? Do they go for best and first available shot? How many passes can you get before you got to hoist it? Simmons will inbound. 1.7 seconds remaining in regulation. Sixers down 2.
Bellinelli back in for McConnell for the offensive possession.
Philly out of timeouts. Here's Bellinelli. Catch and shoot, and it's good! They rule it a 2, and we're going to overtime. Marco Bellinelli sends it to an extra session. They've mobbed the floor here, but they've again ruled it a 2. They're going to go to the monitor to see if the call on the floor was correct. I think the Sixers thought the game was over. They thought they won the game with a 3, but it was called a 2 on the floor. Imagine if this has changed to a 3.
So Brett Brown down the stretch, flipping McConnell for defense, Bellinelli for offense. He comes in the ball game with 1.7 to do just this, Dave.
And that's a 2. His foot was on the line. His foot was over the line there, so they called it correctly on the floor. Here's a better look. Yep, clearly a 2. So we're going to overtime. Wow.
Better sweep the confetti off the floor.
Yeah.
How about that degree of difficulty?
Bellinelli with the big points down the stretch. And Rozier doing everything he can, even grab his jersey to keep him from getting free. And here's the other thing you got to think about now, assuming that this stays a two-pointer and we go to overtime. No Marcus Smart. Baines has 5 fouls. Jaylen Brown has 4. The Celtics have lost so many guys to injury, and now they've lost one of their key guys, Marcus Smart, to foul trouble. Do they have enough to take a 3-0 series lead, especially after that shot by Bellinelli?
My daughter's getting married Saturday.
Father of the groom. I can still help you pay for the wedding.
This bad boy's gonna light up the dessert table.
All good here, pal.
She's a nice girl, but look around. These people are broke.
You got us a ghetto wedding.
If you act nice, we'll take you to the bachelor party.
Best just got bigger. Applebee's new Bigger, Bolder Grill Combos. Now that's eating good in the neighborhood.
Going to take a while to get the confetti off the floor here in Philadelphia as we've got overtime coming after Marco Bellinelli hits a baseline jumper. Ruled on the floor as a 2, confirmed by replay as a 2.
The confetti is actually still coming down from the... And there's a ton of it.
It's going to take a while.
Yeah.
The Sixer bench thought it was a 3. Obviously, operations here thought it was a 3, but clearly a 2.
That's Rozier and Tatum over here. No Marcus Smart on the floor. Really good play call from Brett Brown. And Bellinelli, the late season acquisition.
How about, too, just for Philly as a team, to give up that layup, to turn it over. You have a chance to take the lead. You give up a layup. Now you're down 1.7 left, thinking, oh, man, you know, we got to hit a miracle shot here just to have a chance to win this game. And they get the basket they need.
It's a city who knows a thing or two about being an underdog coming off that Super Bowl title. Boston's been an underdog with all the injuries.
And again, no Marcus Smart. You mentioned it. Marcus Smart wasn't on the floor there, obviously, at the end because of the foul out. And as the confetti still coming down. Let's bring in Cassidy Hubbard now.
So as you guys can see, confetti is still falling onto the court. And the word I get right now is that the referees have to wait until the confetti stops falling and then clear the entire court. So it could be quite a bit of time before we can get it going back, guys.
Yeah, thank you, Cass. I mean, again, as Doris mentioned, you can still see it coming from the ceiling. Take another look at the Bellinelli jumper that got us to overtime.
Well, you're going to have Rozier and Tatum. Rozier actually slips trying to get around the screen. Tatum doesn't see it until it's too late. He's entangled with Ilyasova. And that creates enough separation for Bellinelli to get that shot off.
So because of the injuries to the Celtics and because of the foul trouble, Marcus Smart already fouled out. Do you say the Sixers have the advantage going to overtime, or because it seems like every time we try to count the Celtics out, they show us something else?
Correct.
You can't say that.
No, you cannot, because they have continued to compete regardless of who's been at their disposal. We've talked about Bellinelli's shot selection. He's had a couple of tough ones, but you live with those to get this.
Today, historical sites are disappearing, but AI can help us bring history back to life.
To recreate historical sites, we had to stitch hundreds of pictures one by one. With Microsoft AI, we are able to stitch hundreds of thousands of pictures in one night. I need to make it possible because it's so important to do it. With artificial intelligence, you can go in, you can experience it.
Tires are put to the test every day, everywhere around the world. Michelin invented the tire that stays safe even worn with unique Evergrip technologies. Michelin Premier. Safe when new, safe when worn.
So after about a 7-minute delay, we are ready for overtime. Again, the delay because of the confetti that was falling down onto the court after the assumption that Bellinelli's basket was a 3 and a game winner. But again, it was ruled on the floor as a 2. Replay showed that it clearly was a 2. And so here we go. Bellinelli, Ilyasova, Simmons, Redick, and Embiid for Philly. Horford, Morris, Tatum, Rozier, and Jaylen Brown for Boston. And again, Jaylen Brown was only supposed to play 25 minutes tonight because of that hamstring injury. He's at 26 minutes right now.
Yeah, but he doesn't seem to be reacting.
Three-pointer, no good. Batted out by Embiid. Embiid, 22 points, 19 rebounds. Spins on Horford. Horford blocks him for the second time. And then Horford brings it up the court. Hits the trailer, Rozier. Pull-up jumper, no good. Bellinelli's got it now for the Sixers. 20 boards officially for Embiid. Bellinelli around the screen. Hits again. Another 2 by Bellinelli, who's caught fire here late.
Something important about veteran acquisitions, right? Regardless of when they come.
He was signed February 12th. Averaged 14 points per game in 28 games played for Philly. Morris over Embiid. Puts up an air ball. Shot clock at 9 for Simmons. Here's Redick. Lets it fly. And scores a 3. Five-point lead for Philadelphia. Morris drives an Embiid. As the baseline cutoff, makes an incredible play, though. Great find. Horford gets 2.
It's 2 consecutive plays. Marcus Morris asking for foul calls. Doesn't get it on one or the other. But smart enough, tough enough, strong enough to complete the play.
Well, it's so loud in here. Ben Simmons couldn't hear the play call. He went to Brett Brown and said, I didn't hear what you said. Here's Bellinelli again. Off the mark on the 3. Into the hands of Horford inside 3 minutes to go. 3-point deficit for Boston. Celtics lead the series 2 games to none. In fact, they've never lost a series when they've been up 2-0 in a series. 36-0 in the history of their franchise. Rozier gets past Embiid. And a foul they're going to say by Embiid on the floor. First on Philadelphia here in overtime. 4th personal on Joel Embiid. And Larkin going to check in, replacing Brown for the Celtics.
Saric's going to come in for Embiid, who's now 10 for 25. And this is what I'm talking about with his level of conditioning. He does not have the base of his teammates. So if you're Brett, you get him a quick rest. You'd like him to play all 5 minutes of overtime, no doubt.
Play 39 minutes for the game. Here's Tatum, who's been brilliant. 19 points. Great spin, and he was fouled. Jason Tatum, who's played 39 minutes, has done a little bit of everything again tonight for the Celtics.
And Embiid is yelling and pleading with Brett Brown to come back in. And he's like, hey, I can go. And so Brett says, all right, you're ready, big fella.
Well, this is the season, right? You can't lose this game. You're done if you lose this game. Second team foul on Philly in overtime. And Tatum has missed 3 free throws here in the 4th quarter in overtime. And he was shooting close to 90% of the playoffs entering tonight. That one goes in. 2-point game. 2.5 on the clock here in OT. Simmons drives between two defenders, puts it up and won't fall. Simmons, great hustle. Larkin on the floor. Celtics ball. Rozier backs it out to Larkin. Here's Larkin. Horford at the elbow with the shot clock at 8. Backing down Simmons. Turns to his right shoulder. It won't fall. Tatum, great offensive rebound. Stripped by Bellinelli. And Embiid with the catch in traffic. Here's Redick. Redick at the free throw line. Over Horford, drops it in.
It's the first time I've seen fatigue. Al Horford walking up the floor.
Played 40 minutes tonight. Shot clock at 8. Tatum against Embiid. Tatum got Embiid off his feet. Great finish at the rim. 2-point game again.
How about that play from the rookie? He doesn't get sped up. He makes sure his feet are underneath him. He gets Embiid committed and gets his shoulder square. That is big time.
22 for Tatum. Shot clock at 9. Simmons spins and scores at the rim. Pushes the lead back to 4. 1 minute to go in overtime. Each team with a pair of timeouts left. Tatum driving again with the left hand. Banks it home against Embiid.
So missed free throws, who cares? He goes and challenges Joel Embiid twice and then looks at the official like, that should be an N1. He wants back at the free throw line off that play. Jason Tatum, back-to-back buckets. Rookie no more. 7 foot, 250 pounds, no problem. Give me the N1.
Hey, Chris, how's the move going? I get it. New house, new truck, but it looks like you can use a breather. Let's roll.
I can change it. You cool? You like it?
I never want to hear you say that, hey, you guys need help?
No, we're good. Yes.
Ain't nothing but a heartache. Tell me why. Ain't nothing but a mistake.
Introducing the world's first self-winding string trimmer, the new Ego string trimmer with power load technology. Feed the line. Push the button. And get back to work. With an industry-first carbon fiber shaft, lawn care has never been this easy or this powerful. The new Ego Power Plus string trimmer with power load technology, exclusively at the Home Depot and Ego authorized dealers.
DeMar DeRozan and the Toronto Raptors, can they win Game 3? If they go down to Cleveland, game on 8:30 ABC, it'd be a 3-0 series lead for the Cavs if they can get it, but DeRozan has been so good in the playoffs. Toronto with the best record during the regular season in the Eastern Conference. Game 3 here, and it's a 2-point game. Philly has possession of 98-96, almost another unforced error, and there it is. Rozier with the steal against Embiid, ahead to Horford. Embiid, call for the foul. Horford will go to the line. 5 on Embiid.
Just careless. You almost flub the dribble handoff, and in your rush to give it up, you turn it over. Al Horford up and pressuring. Take your time. Make sure he's open. Rozier, excellent awareness. And then Al is going to be patient, try to lift him, and gets himself right here.
Again, the late turnover with a couple of seconds left that led to a layup for Boston. Horford misses a free throw. 80% free throw shooter. Tatum's missed 3. Horford's missed 2. Boston 6 of 11 as a team at the line. Gets the second one, 1-point game. So that turnover in the front court cost them only 1. Morris going to pick up Simmons. And now switches to Redick with 12 on the shot clock. Redick against Morris. Embiid now. Horford on him. Timer at 5. Embiid with 4. Embiid off of 1 foot. Falling away. No. Simmons offensive rebound. Stick back won't go. Rebound by Morris. 15 seconds left. The Celtics have timeouts. They're down 1.
Surprised Ben Simmons didn't pull that back out.
And Brad Stevens will use a timeout. 8.4 remaining. They trail by 1. Trying to go up 3-0 in the series. Philly trying to get back in it with Game 4 Monday night.
That last set is something they do quite often, where they start with a Redick Simmons picking little screen out front, and they get the ball, and he rushed that shot. Like
sure.
he rushed. He's a terrific rebounder, right at the guard position. If you don't have a layup or a really clean look with no, I'm just a little surprised he didn't pull it out. Yeah.
Make him foul you.
Correct.
Shot clock is off at that point.
Correct.
You've got the 1-point lead, although Simmons isn't a good free throw shooter. But at least you pull it out and get it to somebody else who is.
Correct.
All right, what are some of the options here for the Celtics? 8.4 on the clock, down 1.
Well, you're looking at Lloyd Pierce, who's there basically in charge of their defense, who just interviewed for the Atlanta job, setting their defense. If you're Brad Stevens, this would be interesting because Rozier is a guy who's got get-by ability. You've played through Al, who's been your stabilizer, but you played through him at the elbow and maybe get a back cut off that.
Celtics have missed their last 10 threes. They don't obviously need a 3, but maybe that ends up being your best look. They've been cold here in the 4th quarter and overtime. Tatum has been outstanding. He's got 24 points to lead all scorers.
And once again, you bring McConnell back in on the defensive end of the floor. Covington as well.
Celtics still have a timeout in case they can't inbound the ball within 5 seconds. Morris will inbound it. Jaylen Brown, Horford, Tatum, and Rozier on the floor for the Celtics, down a point. Morris having trouble getting it inbounds. And they call the timeout. So they'll put the clock back at 8.4.
Great deny. Ilyasova battling Tatum. Boston 1 foul to give. Philadelphia still 1 timeout.
And the Celtics out of timeouts. They had Morris inbound the ball there. We'll see if Brad Stevens changes that. After they could not inbound it successfully and had to burn that final timeout.
We brought Covington and McConnell back in. You've got length with Ilyasova. You've got Embiid. You put your best defenders on the floor. Simmons.
Rozier has been so good in the clutch for the Celtics. Will they give the young man a shot to win it here in Game 3? Will it be Tatum, the rookie? Embiid, 22 points, 19 rebounds. Redick has hit some big shots here in overtime for Philly.
Sorry about that, Dave. The 2 guys who have shown you an ability to get separation, Tatum and Rozier. Marcus Morris can get separation. Jaylen Brown can get separation.
Season on the line for all intents and purposes for the Philadelphia 76ers. They have a 1-point lead. Can they get a stop with 8.4 remaining? It will be Morris to inbound it again with 8.4 seconds to go in regulation. Having trouble again inbounding. Fires to Horford underneath. Horford gets it to go. 1-point lead for Boston. Timeout Philly with 5.5 remaining in overtime.
Wow. You vacate the post. You couldn't enter it. The denial by Philly on the prior possession had been so good. So you vacate everybody out of the low post position. And look at Covington. He is left alone on an island to guard Al, who delivers.
Horford hand fighting with Covington to get free. And it drops in. Celtics by 1. Celtics have a foul to give as well as we consider what we could see from Philadelphia here to inbound the ball. The Celtics can commit a foul. Got to be careful, obviously, in that situation.
Well, you almost have Jason Tatum trying to hold off the defender. So he's not even trying to get open. He was trying to hold off that Philly defender. And credit Brad Stevens for getting the necessary switch to get Covington onto Embiid. So look at here. Look at this. Is the action initially causes Embiid to switch out, and that leaves Covington on an island.
Okay, now Philly's got possession. They went to Bellinelli at the end of regulation. What do we expect here? You have Simmons inbounding.
Yeah, I think you're going to watch it develop. It wouldn't shock me if Redick is the first guy to make the catch, but give it right back to Simmons and let him play off motion and downhill.
Again, Boston has a foul to give. Philly down one with possession, 5.5 to go. Horford with a steal. What a play by Horford. Another costly turnover in a key moment by the 76ers. They have had 3 just awful turnovers, one at the end of regulation, 2 here in overtime. And now Horford with a chance to make it a 3-point game. And Philly's out of timeout, so they can't advance the ball.
Watch the defensive anticipation by Al. Beats Simmons to the ball, forces him to foul Al Horford. I mean, look at him. The correct hand tips it loose, makes it a loose ball, and then he goes and gets it.
And Embiid fouled out. Horford 1 for 2 at the line tonight. 78% during the regular season. Got to stretch the lead, and he gets the first one. Again, Philly out of timeouts. I'll have to get it up the floor quickly to get a decent look. Boston does have a foul to give still. Keep that in mind on the inbound for Philly. Horford gets that one, so it's a 3-point game, 3 seconds to go. You see if Boston fouls on the catch. Here's Bellinelli. They're not going to foul him. Bellinelli gets it away. No good. And the Celtics lead the series 3 games to none.
Look at how fired up this guy is.
And listen to how quiet this crowd is.
You don't see Al Horford that emotional that often. This guy is called the stabilizer. His calm demeanor is what has defined his ability and effect on this team. But he battled Joel Embiid all night long. And this is the last look. I'm a little bit surprised they didn't take the foul. You got Terry Rozier backpedaling. He actually gets it off and gives it a chance.
Let's hear what Al Horford has to say after that game-winning bucket and free throws to clinch it. Here's Cassidy.
Al, you're obviously emotional after that big win. Let's dissect it play by play because you had 2 huge plays. First, that steal. Walk me through what you saw defensively.
Well, I mean, I was just trying to press up on Joel. You know, he's such a tough cover, and I just tried to press up, and the pass was there, so I just, you know, tipped it and got the ball.
Brad Stevens' ATOs have become a thing of legend. Did that play go as planned at the end there with your game winner?
No, it was totally. Brad is a genius, man. Unbelievable. You know, sometimes he draws stuff up, and I look at him like, I didn't think, you know, but Marcus delivered it. Great pass. You know, I missed some shots that I normally make there, and but I made that one, so it's good.
15 lead changes in this game. Your rookie, 5th straight 20-point game. He now passes Larry Bird. How would you describe the poise that Jason Tatum has been displaying throughout these playoffs?
Unbelievable. I mean, I'm really proud of him, but man, I didn't know that. I mean, that's some big-time stuff right there. I'm just proud of him in this kind of atmosphere.
Playoff foul, baby! Playoff foul!
Hey, in this kind of atmosphere, you know, he just stayed poised, made big plays for us. Unbelievable.
This season, so many people have been counting you out because of the injury after injury. You have been the consistent here. 3-0 lead right now against this Philly team. How would you define your confidence level of this team right now?
We're a confident team. You know, we've had a lot of adversity, like you said, you know, missing a lot of our guys, but we're trying to find a way. You know, we're trying to find a way, and this group is playing hard every night.
A win away from closing this thing out. Congrats on the win.
Thank you.
Back to you guys.
And you heard Jason Tatum jump in there and say, playoff Al. Al's like that all the time. That's just Al. Al Horford, so valuable to the Boston Celtics in so many ways, and we saw it in the club as the Celtics come back from down, not only in the fourth quarter, but down 5 in overtime.